As the month of December begins, it is extremely vital that everyone be made aware that it's Saturday! You know what that means? We're live! Ladies and gentlemen, I'm the one and only DJ Storms, and I would like to welcome each and every single one of you back here to the channel on YouTube.com, as of course, you already know who I am, Mr. Controversy and the operator of the best damn Twitter handle known wait for it. Wait for it. To mankind. And this is the official Lightning Flash update for Saturday, December 4th, 2021. Woo! Take a little break there for a minute. Only 2 minutes into the stream and I'm already losing my voice. Woo! Woo, woo, woo! We got a lot to talk about here. A lot to talk about indeed as far as the world of professional wrestling goes. Let us check the chat. See what's going on. We got Dee, Adam Carl. We got Renegade Ryan and Dave Maniscalco. I'm pretty sure we're going to have a lot more. We're going to have a lot more people as the stream continues to go on. First things first, I apologize because of this lingering cough that I got. I'm not sure what's going on. I had a cold a couple weeks ago, and the cough is still lingering. But nevertheless, I'm going to get through this to the best of my abilities because that is exactly what I do. That is exactly what being DJ Storms is all about. So we got a lot of material to discuss. We got a lot of material to talk about. And I greatly appreciate each and every single one of you taking time out of your Saturday to hang out with me here. Secondly, I actually had to cancel plans to go out today because I twisted my ankle and it hurts like a motherfucker. It's not to a point where I need crutches. It's not to a point where I can't walk. But if I put pressure on my right foot, it does kind of hurt. I should be good in about a week or two. I just can't walk for extended periods of time because then it really starts to hurt. But nevertheless, I'm doing all right. Other than that, job's certainly been busy. I have a lot of things planned. Including tomorrow. Tomorrow at 2 p.m. Eastern Time, me and All Elite Mikey, we will be joining forces once again as we are going to dissect NXT War Games, which is taking place tomorrow on December 5th, starting at 8 p.m. Eastern Time on Peacock. And I am very, very apprehensive about the show. I am not looking forward to it whatsoever because this is just yet another changing of the guard type of show where we're going to have the new school of NXT take over and just eradicate everything that Triple H created. It really is a slap in the face. It really is a slap in the face to everything that Triple H has done, and I really, 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 really cannot stand anything that they're doing, minus a few people here and there like Carmelo Hayes and Braun Breaker. He's getting there. He's getting better slowly but surely. Toxic Attraction ain't bad. I love Tony D'Angelo. Grayson Waller's a very good wrestler. But at the end of the day, it's nothing more than a complete eradication of everything that Triple H created. And it really is just a spit in the face. It's a spit in the face to the real wrestling fans. And I am truthfully sick of it. I really am. I'm sick of it. I'm really not looking forward to it. We should get some decent wrestling, but overall, the creative direction of NXT is a very, very, very sad state. Too many main roster strategies being implemented into the NXT product as a whole. NXT 2.0 sucks, plain and simple. That's why I don't review it anymore. But nevertheless, we're going to talk about that. I got some news on NXT. Commentator Beth Phoenix, she actually quit for family-related reasons. Yeah, sure. Family-related reasons. Yeah, sure. We also got news on Big Swole. She did not re-sign or renew her contract with AEW. On top of that, WWE made up a ridiculous conspiracy theory that Tony Khan is buying his own tickets, and it just goes to show you how pathetic, how sad, how stupid, and how unaware WWE really is. We will talk about that as well. I got the weekly show reviews on Raw, Dynamite, NXT UK, SmackDown, and Rampage. We're going to go over all of that, and we're going to break down everything before tomorrow, which is NXT War Games, as I just stated, and me and Mikey will be analyzing everything NXT War Games related. If you guys have not already done so, please make sure you follow me on social media at the DJ_Storms on both Twitter and Instagram. Again, Twitter and Instagram, the links are in the description. Follow me there. Add me on Facebook for collaborations and business inquiries. Please send me an email. My email is, of course, StormsTakeOver@gmail.com. Please like the official DJ Storms business page, and I may just send you an invite to join the official DJ Storms Posse group on Facebook. That is, all of those links are in the description. Please make sure you like the video, as it is important. We want to get as many people in here as possible. Tell everyone about me. Share it out on all platforms of social media. Share it out on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, Pinterest, TikTok, Snapchat, Tumblr, whatever you use, whatever social media platforms that you use. Make sure you tell everyone that DJ Storms is live on YouTube. Everyone that you know, your mothers, your fathers, your brothers, your sisters, your sons, your daughters, your aunts and your uncles, your grandmothers, your grandfathers, your 4th, 5th, 6th, 7th, 8th, 9th, 10th, 11th, 12th, 13th, 14th, 15th cousins twice, 3 times, 4 times, 5 times removed, your dogs and your cats, and especially your guinea pigs, because I'm telling you, people, I'm telling you, I have had so many articles lodged up in my laptop, and I say this every time, but it rings true. Rings true. I have articles lodged up in my laptop specifically stating that if guinea pigs are exposed to DJ Storms, they are said to live long, happy, healthy, fruitful lives. So if you got a guinea pig and you want him or her to live a long, happy, healthy, fruitful life, tell him that DJ Storms is live on YouTube. I mean, it's not that hard. Come on. As Tony D'Angelo says, forget about it. Who's better than DJ Storms? Forget about it. Nobody. Anyway, hit the thumbs up, subscribe, and hit the notifications bell with a huge coup de grace. That way you will know whenever I pop up on YouTube. Because whenever I pop up on YouTube, it's the best time to be on YouTube, because it's the only time you're going to get to see this glorious sideburn chin strap combo, this beautiful mustache right here. Give me 1 second. It's Earl Cole's favorite part of the show. I got a new haircut. I shaved. I look crisp. I look clean. I look fresh. And we're going to light it up here on the LFU with a little and a dash of and a whole lot of like Campbell's soup. It's so good. It's like DJ Storms. DJ Storms is equivalent to Campbell's soup, because DJ Storms is so good. You know what I'm talking about. Everybody wants a piece of the Storms Meister, because I'm so good. Anyway. Yes, Dee Dee. I am a cocky ass. Do you blame me? I mean, if you looked as good as me, of course you would be cocky too. Not to say that you're not beautiful in your own right, but come on. I'm DJ Storms. You're good, but are you DJ Storms? Anyway. Enough of the self-brand promotion, the advertisements. We got some news to dissect. We're gonna dive straight into the news, rumors, and reports. Now, let's start with Big Swole. Big Big Swole, she announced on Tuesday that she has decided not to renew her contract with All Elite Wrestling. She released a statement on Twitter on Tuesday afternoon stating this, and I quote, "Over the past couple of months, my life has taken on the mantra grow, learn, change. Dealing with shadow work took strength I didn't know I had. I thank God for my loving family because they got me through some of the roughest months of my life. But I realized the real test is application. So I took my leap, and after speaking with TK and AEW higher officials, we've decided not to renew my contract with All Elite Wrestling. This was a hard decision, but I needed one. I am grateful for their understanding and that we could mutually come to this agreement. I've enjoyed my time with AEW and wish them all the best. I appreciate their love and welcoming me into their family. Today is my last day, and as bittersweet as it is, I am proud to say that I've lived my dreams while making a difference. That is Swole mentality." Now, first off, I am very, very happy that Big Swole was positively affected by joining AEW, and I'm very, very happy that both parties came to a mutual agreement. I'm very, very happy to hear that everything went smoothly. I'm very, very happy to hear that everything did not end in some type of tumultuous argument. No one side is bitter. No one side has any negative feelings towards the other side. I'm very, very happy that this all turned out well. And it really goes to show you the positive impact that Tony Khan is really having on the wrestling industry. After stuff like this, I don't really understand how anyone could shit on AEW or question the intentions of Tony Khan. Big Swole, yes, she did not get over in the way that she would have liked to or the way that we all thought she would, but that's not her fault. That's not her fault. That was because of her constant battle with Crohn's disease. That's a disease that she's going to live with her entire life. It's a chronic illness that she's going to live with for the rest of her life. And trust me when I tell you, I know what that feels like. I have dealt with ulcerative colitis for the last 5 years of my life. Coming up in January, it's going to be exactly 5 years since I was diagnosed with it. And at the end of the day, it can take a toll on you, not only physically, but mentally and emotionally. And the way that she is writing this, it really does seem like she is looking to take time away for herself to focus on her mental health. And at the end of the day, that is extremely important, whether people want to admit it or not. Mental health is extremely important because I know that there are millions of people out there, billions of people who have lost a loved one or have been the victim of bad mental health for themselves, or they lost someone to bad mental health. It's no joke. It's no joke, and I'm very, very happy that Big Swole was able to have a positive impact on the people in AEW. I'm very, very happy that the people in AEW were so understanding of Big Swole's mental health problems and her physical health problems as well. You don't really get that. You don't really get that. But the thing that pissed me off, and I know a lot of people saw it, the thing that pissed me off was the fact that there was legitimately people trying to compare this to if Britt Baker was quote-unquote released, or the 200 superstars from WWE that was released over the course of the last 2 years. And this is why I fucking hate social media. I've said it once, I'll say it again. If you know me, then you would have known that I've told you that if I did not create the DJ Storms brand, if DJ Storms never existed, I would have deleted my social media accounts years ago. I wanted one when I was younger, and after a while, I found out that there was no use for them. I would not have any social media, no YouTube, no Twitter, no Instagram, no Facebook. I would not have any of it if I did not create the DJ Storms brand. I'm here to tell everyone that if you're trying to compare this to WWE releasing talent or Britt Baker getting released, you are not only a fucking retard, you're a fucking asshole. You really are. This is in no way, shape, or form comparable to those scenarios. Incomparable whatsoever. First off, Big Swole did not get released. Big Swole mutually came to an agreement with Tony Khan. She spoke to Tony Khan. Tony Khan is not hard to reach. She spoke to Tony Khan. She talked things out, and she got everything worked out to a point where, okay, we came to this agreement. I am not willing to continue. I'm not ready. I need to focus on myself. There you go. Big Swole was not released. She was not fired. She asked for her contract not to be renewed because of her mental health. The way that this is mapped out and the way that this was written, it seemed like she was telling everyone, I am leaving to focus on my mental health. So why are you fucking making a big deal out of this? Why is anyone giving Big Swole or AEW, why are you using this as an excuse to shit on AEW? Are you really have nothing better to do with your life than to search for any little tactic or any little scenario that happens to a point where, okay, I can manipulate this into an agenda. I can manipulate this to fit my narrative to shit all over AEW. Find a fucking hobby. Seriously, find a fucking hobby. You're just ousting yourself as a complete fucking low-life bum. Big Swole was not released. You cannot compare this to the fucking 200 releases that took place from WWE over the course of the last 2 years. WWE has given you every single reason in the book to shit on them because they don't give a shit about the people that they employ. Tony Khan, he gives a shit about the people that he employs. He cares. He treats them like a family. And at the end of the fucking day, he came to this mutual agreement with Big Swole, and he understood that Big Swole had to focus on herself. And at the end of the day, as long as she is physically and mentally healthy, that is all that matters. Stop comparing this to fucking WWE or if Britt Baker got released. No one got fired. Big Swole asked for her contract not to be renewed to focus on her mental health. And at the end of the fucking day, as long as she is okay, as long as she is healthy, and as long as she is happy, that's all that matters. Stop using shit like this as an excuse to shit on AEW. Who's to say that Big Swole could not come back later on down the line when she gets herself ready? Maybe the stress from being on the road was contributing to flare-ups from Crohn's disease. Maybe she's better on the independent scene where she's more comfortable. And as long as she's comfortable and healthy and happy, that's all that matters. Stop using shit like this as an excuse to shit on AEW. If you're shitting on AEW in any way, shape, or form, you are a complete fucking retard. And an asshole at that. Stop trying to be cool. And stop trying to use a real-life scenario in which someone is looking to better herself and grow and learn personally. Stop using that as an excuse to shit on a company just because you blindly hate them. I wish Big Swole the best. Speaking of shitting on a company, WWE gave us every reason in the book to shit on them because of their shit tactics. Their shit tactics in their promo work on Monday Night Raw. Sean Ross Sapp of Fightful reported what the internal feeling was on Monday backstage when WWE used the real-life firings in their promos for certain superstars. He stated, and I quote, "I've had former WWE wrestlers, former WWE producers, and a current WWE wrestler that are all telling me how bad a taste they thought that was." End quote. Need I say more? In other words, water is wet, grass is green, the sky is blue, shit is brown. What do you want me to say that I haven't already said? What happened was fucking inexcusable. What they did was fucking inexcusable. And this is nothing more than a scenario in which WWE is trying to generate any sort of reaction whatsoever because they know that they have no buzz around them whatsoever. Survivor Series didn't sell out. Raw didn't sell out. Long Island Show didn't sell out. There's no intrigue. There's no interest. October was a shitty month for them. It got worse in November. Now it's going to sink the lowest it's ever sunk to in December, right now. So what does WWE do? Oh, let's use the real-life firings. Let's use these real-life firings because we don't give a shit about these people anyway. We don't give a shit about anyone unless they're making us money. We don't give a shit about anything unless we are making money off of said individual or said object. These individuals are property to us. They don't give a shit. They took these real-life firings and they made a fucking mockery out of them, trying to generate heat for certain storylines because they can't generate any organic reactions. They can't generate any real reactions. They can't generate any positive reactions, any correct reactions. So what do? They look to generate a reaction period by using these real-life firings just to try and spark up some heat, to try and spark up some buzz. And let me tell you something. Doesn't matter if you got people talking about you. They're talking about you in the negative light. They're talking about you in the wrong way. And at the end of the day, more people are going to catch on to this, and more people are going to be turned off to what you are doing. At the end of the day, you are only harming yourself. You are harming yourself. You're harming your product. You're harming your superstars. It was disgusting. A company that is making jokes and they're scripting superstars to say these lines in which superstars got fucking fired. Meanwhile, you're the one that fucking fired them. You're the people that fucking fired them. Yet you're having these individuals on your show go out there and say, oh, your big money contract is the reason my friends are gone, or you leave your partners behind to get fired. Whose fucking fault is that? That's WWE's fault. You are mocking the livelihoods of these individuals, the livelihoods that you ruined because you fired them before the holidays. What a fucking joke. What an absolute fucking joke. Of course it was in bad taste. You don't fucking fire 200 people and then script someone on your roster who's currently still employed to use that in a real-life storyline. That's fucking insensitive. And it goes to show you that they don't give a shit about anybody. They don't. Beth Phoenix. Beth Phoenix. Beth Phoenix is leaving the NXT commentary booth. It was reported by Brian Alvarez that she was done with NXT. She was done with NXT. Beth Phoenix released a statement saying that tomorrow, NXT War Games will be her last night as a part of the NXT commentary booth. And at the end of the day, she cited family reasons. Family. She wants to be closer to her family. She wants to spend more time with her family. Bullshit. Bullshit. Brian Alvarez followed up with this report saying that others that are working with NXT find no fun in it anymore. They find no fun in it anymore as the morale is extremely low. He stated, and I quote, "It's not like she couldn't do the main roster feud with Miz and Maurice and also do NXT commentary. She just decided she is done with NXT. Whatever that means, she said it's due to family, but this is also, again, might not be the last person. Because no matter what you guys think about me or anyone else saying that it sucks, it does. There are people who have told me that it's just not fun anymore." End quote. End quote. Again, need I say more? Need I say more? What exactly could I say that hasn't already been said as far as this goes? What could I say that hasn't already been said as far as this goes? Beth Phoenix did not leave NXT because of her family. Beth Phoenix left NXT because of the simple fact that Triple H, Shawn Michaels, and everyone else that was originally a part of Triple H's camp They are being removed. They're being eradicated. They are being exterminated like fucking termites. They're being fucking exterminated, and they are being removed from their positions of power so now Vince McMahon could take over. Shawn Michaels is merely there as a surface value guy. Shawn Michaels is merely there because he's doing what Vince tells him to do, because what the fuck else is he supposed to do? Beth Phoenix is leaving because the morale with NXT has gone downhill. That is why Scotty 2 Hotty left. That is why Mauro Ranallo left. That's why all these individuals left. And that's why more individuals will leave. That's why Adam Cole left. That's why Kyle O'Reilly's going to leave. That's why Johnny Gargano's going to leave. Beth Phoenix resigned from NXT commentary because she knows what the brand is devolving into. And it doesn't matter what you want to say. It doesn't matter if you enjoy it. It doesn't matter what type of lame fucking excuses you want to make up to try and justify NXT 2.0. The show is dog shit. The show is dog shit. The booking is dog shit. The majority of the people that are put on television are dog shit as well. And the entire brand has been overthrown. Whether you want to admit it or not, whatever type of lame fucking excuses you want to make up to say that, oh, Triple H just wasn't cutting it. Bullshit! He was cutting it. Problem is that Vince McMahon was too fucking selfish, too envious, too petty to understand it. He couldn't admit that he was wrong. And what happened? What happened? Now Vince McMahon and Bruce Pritchard are in full control of NXT, and the brand is pretty much all but dead. The brand is pretty much 98% dead. Beth Phoenix, another pawn being moved off the board. Beth Phoenix is just another individual that's being forced out. I feel sorry for Triple H. I really do. And I feel sorry for the talent that's working there. Because this family environment has been destroyed. The family environment, the environment in which Triple H created to give the superstars a safe space, the environment that was created from day one with NXT, and Triple H wanted to make something of it. Triple H wanted to take NXT and take the company in an upwards direction. He was trending upwards. What did Vince McMahon do? He killed it. People are starting to catch on to it. Scotty Tuati's gone. Beth Phoenix, gone. It's not fun anymore. People are saying that it's not fun anymore. The show fucking sucks. Stop denying the facts. Please. Stop denying the facts. Stop trying to be cool. Stop trying to say that, oh, it's working. Oh, it's fun. No, it's not. Go suck my cock. Suck my Italian cock. I don't give a shit. Show sucks. And anyone that is in favor of this show, you are the fucking problem. You're the fucking problem. And I don't have any fucking respect for you. I hate you with every fiber of my being. I feel so bad for Triple H, and I feel bad for everyone that's working with NXT right now. The family environment has been killed. The one good thing about the WWE, has been killed. What is there to like about the WWE outside of RK Bro and Roman Reigns? Nothing. Nothing. Walter could be in for a main roster debut, as I believe it was the Wrestling Observer newsletter reported that he is getting into shape. He's lost a lot of weight. He's been off of television since TakeOver 36, and he's focusing on really getting himself into really good shape. He doesn't have that gut anymore. He's starting to slim down a bit. He's still keeping the weight on, but he's slimming down a bit. He's really getting himself into shape. He's more open to working in the United States. We could very well see Walter debut on the main roster. He could be set for a big main roster push. But in reality, is anything regarding the main roster a fucking push? Look at what they're doing to Toni Storm. Wasn't Vince McMahon high on Toni Storm just 4 or 5 months ago? No. Now she's getting pied in the face. Now she's getting fucking pied in the face. Oh yeah, Vince McMahon's high on Toni Storm, right? Meanwhile, she's getting pied in the face. Oh, he's high on Walter, right? Bullshit. Walter will go on a 10-match losing streak within his first 3 months on the main roster. Guaranteed. Guaranteed. Bullshit. I want Walter to succeed. I do. I want Walter to succeed on the main roster, and I do think that he has wild potential to be the next big thing. Hell, you could build him up, take the title off of Big E or Roman Reigns. Are they going to do that? No. No. They're not going to do that. They're not going to do that because at the end of the day, WWE does not know how to fucking book anyone correctly. Unless you're Roman Reigns, Randy Orton, Brock Lesnar, or Bill Goldberg, or Charlotte Flair, or Becky Lynch. Those 6 individuals. Unless you're those 6 individuals, you are worthless. You're worthless. And you're going to be the victim of nothing but shit booking. Plain and simple. Don't fucking argue with me. Don't fucking argue with me. Drew McIntyre. Drew McIntyre, he is being placed in a storyline where it seems as though he's getting screwed by authority figures, according to Dave Meltzer. Meltzer stated this, and I quote, "So the key stuff is that Brock Lesnar is back next week." He reported this, obviously, following SmackDown last Friday. So the key stuff is that Brock Lesnar is back next week, and they're doing a new gimmick where the authority figures are trying to screw with Drew McIntyre, which is an entirely new storyline that WWE has never done before. He said this in a very sarcastic tone. He continued by saying, "But you know what's what they're doing. They're repeating the stuff from the past. I mean, that's what we're seeing everywhere." End quote. I would not be surprised if this is true. It seems as though they are continuing that. They are indeed continuing that, considering that Drew had a face-off with Sonya Deville, and now he's saying that Adam Pearce, he's not here. Well, tell Adam Pearce that I'm looking for him. He's got his fucking sword, Angela. So at the end of the day, would not surprise me. Maybe this leads to Drew McIntyre eventually getting that match with Roman. Maybe we see Roman, Brock, and Drew McIntyre. That has been that's been some people in the community have been actually predicting that. Some people in and around the community have been predicting that we could very well see Drew, Brock, and Roman in the main event of WrestleMania Night 2. Possibly. I definitely wouldn't mind it. He's not going to win the championship. He's already a made man, but I definitely would not mind that. It doesn't seem like a terrible idea, but at the end of the day, the fact that it's a recycled storyline, it goes to show you how creatively inept WWE really is. It goes to show you how little of ideas they really have. It really does go to show you that WWE is in the biggest rut, that they forget about a fucking rut. They're stuck at the bottom of a fucking abyss. They're in the fucking bottomless pit, and they're going deeper and deeper and deeper. Drew McIntyre, no one's going to believe that he is being screwed over by authority figures. Nobody. No one's going to believe that he's being screwed over by authority figures because Drew McIntyre is a company favorite. Drew's a company favorite. He's a made man. He beat Brock Lesnar. He's a former 2-time WWE champion. How are we supposed to believe that the authority is against Drew McIntyre when he's been one of the most prominent figures on WWE television for the last 2 years? He was in the WWE Championship title picture for the majority of the fucking year. But if the authority's against Drew McIntyre, yeah, sure. Yeah, that's believable. That's believable, all right. My final report, and I want to shout out Mr. Earl Cole. I want to shout out Mr. Earl Cole as he provided me with this report. He provided me with this report before it really broke out into the news. Brian Alvarez. Brian Alvarez gets a lot of hate for no reason. I don't understand why Brian Alvarez gets all this hate. Brian Alvarez is excellent at what he does. Brian Alvarez gets all this hate. He gets called an AEW shill. He gets called a He gets called an asshole for no fucking reason whatsoever. He says that, oh, he's trying to divide the community. No, he's not. He's doing his fucking job. If you're hating on Brian Alvarez, I mean, you really need to go outside and fucking touch some grass. Go outside, touch some grass. Go get a fucking glazed munchkin over at Dunkin' Donuts. Go to fucking Starbucks and get a iced mocha cappuccino or whatever fucking overpriced coffee that they serve over there. Do something. Get the fuck off of social media. I have never seen so many fucking people. I don't mean to go off on a tangent. I have never seen so many people who spend so much time on social media and every other day or every other week on a consistent basis, they tweet about someone or something that they hate. I have never been sitting around on my chair at my desk. I've never been sitting around at home. I've never been sitting on the couch, pet my dog. I've never been sitting around surfing social media and thinking to myself, man, I hate this man. I hate this woman. I hate this thing. I hate said individual, or I hate said something, whatever it may be. I hate this individual or this thing. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to consistently tweet about him, her, or it on a consistent basis because I hate it so much. I've never done that. No normal human being does that shit. Nobody. And I have people who hate me, and they're tweeting about me on a consistent basis because they got nothing fucking better to do with their life. They hang from my testicles on a daily fucking basis. They're my biggest fans. Seriously. But yet they don't like me. They don't like me, but yet they consistently tweet about me. Listen, if you don't like an individual or a person, you know what you do? You fucking ignore them. You fucking ignore them and you act like they don't exist, but you can't help but talk about me because I'm that much better than you. Because I'm a fucking no one from the East Coast. I don't do this for money. I've never made a single fucking dime off of any video or any stream that I've ever done. I don't do this for money. I do this because I love it. I mind my own business. I tweet about what I like, what I dislike. I tweet about the one thing that I am the most passionate about, and that's pro wrestling. But yet some people cannot help but talk about me. Some people can't help but jiggle from my nutsack. Some people can't help but hang from my long Italian schlong. I guess that goes to show you that I have people on strings like puppets. Quite sad. Quite sad. Brian Alvarez is no different. Brian Alvarez, he gets way too much hate for no reason, and he just does what he does. He does his job. He does his job, and he gets hate for it. No reason. But Brian Alvarez, he reported a very interesting and a very ridiculous conspiracy theory coming from WWE management. He stated, and I quote, "You will be surely stunned to learn that there are a few people in WWE that believe Tony must be buying up tickets for the AEW shows." End quote. Tony Khan is buying his own tickets for the AEW shows. I mean, I'm surprised, but yet I'm not surprised. I mean, I shouldn't be surprised, but this is a new fucking low. This is a new fucking low, even for WWE. And it really goes to show you how fucking retarded, how fucking ignorant, and how fucking unaware WWE really is. You know what this is right here? This is WWE refusing to live in reality. WWE is living in a fucking fantasy bubble where they think they're the top of the line. WWE is living in a fucking fantasy bubble where they think they're still the number one quote-unquote wrestling company, even though they're not a wrestling company, they still think they're the number one wrestling company on the planet. So Vince McMahon is sitting there in his office, oh my God, oh, we didn't sell out Survivor Series. Oh, we didn't sell out Raw. We didn't sell out Long Island. And we're number one. Oh, nothing's wrong with us. We're perfect. We're WWE. And how is it that AEW is selling out? Oh God, I know how. It can't be because they're better than us. No one's better than the WWE. So you know what? Tony Khan is buying his own tickets. That's it, Bruce. That's it, Johnny Ace. Tony Khan is buying his own tickets. And then John Laurinaitis, my name is Mr. John Laurinaitis. I am the Executive Vice President of Talent Relations. And Vince McMahon, you are correct. Because Tony Khan, he does not embody people power. So he must be buying his own tickets. And Bruce Pritchard, as he stuffs down a fucking White Castle slider, Tony Khan is buying his own tickets. Wow, you Uncle Tony. So it's all they do. It's all they do. They fucking conspire. They fucking conspire in their office up in Stamford and make up these ridiculous fucking theories that Tony Khan is buying his own tickets. How does that even make any sense? How would he do that? How exactly did all of the people get there? You're telling me that Tony Khan bought his own tickets and he gave it to all of these individuals to be plants? Tony Khan has, what, 5,000 fucking plants for every fucking AEW show? Are you fucking retarded? Tony Khan, where are all these people coming from? Where are they coming from? Where are they coming from? In a day and age where social media is the most prominent that it's ever been in the history of the world, you're telling me that Tony Khan bought these tickets and gave these free tickets away and no one said a fucking word? What about the fact that Tony Khan brought in Chris Jericho and Bryan Danielson, Adam Cole, CM Punk? You honestly think that Tony Khan would be able to get those four of the biggest superstars in pro wrestling history, period? You honestly think that he would be getting four of the biggest stars in pro wrestling, period, if he was duping everyone? You honestly think that Tony Khan would be able to sign those four individuals to long-term contracts if he was fooling everyone? Tony Khan has always been transparent with everyone, wrestlers and fans. Why exactly would he be fooling his fucking fan base or fooling the wrestlers into thinking that he's fucking buying his own tickets? Malachi Black, Andrade, Pac, all of these individuals, you honestly think that they would have signed with Tony Khan if they were aware that he was buying his own tickets? How would Tony Khan even make a profit? How would Tony Khan even make a profit if he was buying his own tickets? It is unbelievable. It is legitimately unbelievable how fucking unaware WWE really is. They think that they're perfect. They got their head in the clouds. They think that everything is sunshine, rainbows, and unicorns, and they can do no wrong. And then they wonder why the shows aren't selling out. Oh, I don't know. Maybe the shows aren't selling out because they suck elephant cock. Maybe the shows aren't selling out because they suck donkey testicles. Maybe the shows aren't selling out because they're not good. But no. Let's just go off and say that, oh yeah, no, nothing's the matter. No, nothing's wrong. Everything's good. Yeah, WWE is the number one. Look at how much money we're making, but why aren't we selling out? Oh, it can't be because our shows are bad. Tony Khan must be buying his own tickets. If WWE is doing bad, then everyone must be doing bad. It is so fucking ridiculous. I can't even formulate the words. I've legitimately run out of words in my vocabulary, and I'm just reiterating and repeating myself. I cannot even formulate the correct words in my vocabulary to describe how fucking stupid, how fucking unaware, and how fucking stubborn the people running WWE really are. And of course, there's going to be fucking inbreds that actually believe this shit. They believe that Tony Khan's buying his own tickets because they blindly hate something or they're just fucking stupid. Everyone's fucking, 95% of people are fucking stupid nowadays anyway. It is unbelievable. Maybe if you actually put on a decent show, maybe we wouldn't be sitting here complaining about how Monday Night Raw sucks and SmackDown sucks. We wouldn't be complaining about NXT. We wouldn't be complaining at all about the WWE product if you focused on a serious television program, wins and losses matter, putting people in the correct roles, no stupid comedy shit 20 times per show, long-term booking, and a center focus with pro wrestling. Pro wrestling at the epicenter of everything instead of this bullshit sports entertainment farce. That would get people to watch the show. That would get people to watch the show. Plain and simple. Plain and simple. Need I say more? That's the quote for today's stream. Need I say more? You're going to hear that a lot throughout the stream. I don't even know what else I can say. I really don't even know what else I can say. It has become absolutely ridiculous. It has become absolutely ridiculous how fucking delusional WWE really is. And I have no faith. They're never going to get better. They're never going to get better. They're never going to get better. I would not be surprised if Bruce Pritchard and Johnny 5 Packs of Cigarettes and White Castle Pritchard and fucking Timmy Turner, Kevin Dunn, they're all training their children, if they even have fucking children. I don't know who would want to have children with those fucking assholes. But I wouldn't be surprised if they're training their children to run the WWE after they pass away with Vince. Who knows? Anyway, those are the news, rumors, and reports. Those are the news, rumors, and reports. We're going to get into the weekly show reviews in just a little bit. Let's check the chat. Yes, Hooligram, you heard me correctly. How you doing, Leo? I greatly appreciate you stopping by. My foot's doing better. I just twisted my ankle. I should be okay within another week or two. Earl Cole, here's a thought, WWE. Book a real wrestling show without redundancy matches and kitty BS segments. I'm doing all right, Hooligram. Just dealing with a little bit of a lingering cough, and I twisted my ankle, but I am doing okay. So, we're going to talk about Monday Night Raw. And we have a lot to talk about as far as Monday Night Raw goes, although I've never ever seen a scenario where so much happened, yet nothing happened at all on Monday Night Raw. So, of course, Monday Night Raw was shit. I mean, when is it ever good? The show that we got at the beginning of November, that was the first decent show that we had in fucking years. First decent show that we had in years. So, Seth Rollins kicked off the show. He kicked off the show doing his dance. Crowd was singing the theme song of Seth Rollins. He goes, after last week, you might expect me to be in a bad mood, but I'm Seth freaking Rollins and nothing can keep me down. So obviously a little jab at the asshole that attacked him last week. He goes, I got a secret. I got some breaking news. Give me a little drum roll. At day 1, Atlanta, Georgia, it's going to be Big E versus Seth Rollins for the WWE Championship. It'll be the first day of the new year. It'll be the first day of my next championship reign. I am a visionary. I am a revolutionary. I am Seth freaking Rollins. So I'm liking Seth Rollins. I'm really liking Seth Rollins. He's doing some really good shit. Balor then came out. He went right on the attack. Balor hit a sling blade on the floor to Seth Rollins, and then he hit Rollins with the steps. The match finally got underway. So we got Finn Balor and Seth Rollins. Pretty solid matchup to kick off the show. Nothing crazy, but it was a pretty solid matchup. So Balor with a huge tope con hero to Rollins. Coming back from commercial, Balor with a DDT for a 2. Rollins cut Balor off on the top. He went up with him with a superplex Falcon Arrow combination. Went for the frog splash, but Balor got the knees up. We had a big cradle for a 2, a big double stomp for a 2. Rollins then with a sling blade and a super kick. That got a 2 count. Balor with a sling blade. Woo drop kick. Coup de grace missed. Both men then butted heads. Both men were down. They slugged it out. Back and forth. Strikes and kicks. Balor with the eye of the hurricane. Rollins then punched Balor right in the eye. Hit a rolling elbow and a stomp for the win. Pretty solid match. Monday Night Raw did not start off bad, but it got worse as the night went on. But this was a pretty solid match. But Finn Balor deserves a lot better. Finn Balor really deserves a lot better. Becky Lynch. Becky Flair. Becky Flair was wearing this ridiculous pink coat. She looked so fucking stupid. I don't know how anyone supports this shit. She looked fucking stupid. She came out with the Raw Women's Championship contract signing. Sonya Deville was moderating it. She introduced Liv Morgan. Becky said, I wanted to get you angry, and I gotta admit, you have one hell of a right, but you held yourself back. One punch ain't enough. What happens when it comes to the big fight? I've signed the contract. So, Sonya Deville then said, this match is happening next Monday on Raw. Becky then said, oh, it's not happening here because this is a city of losers. She called the Long Island or the New York Islanders, the hockey team, she called them losers. Morgan goes, would you shut up for once? She said, I channeled my emotions instead of becoming a big blubbering mess, kind of like you did after your match at Survivor Series. They showed Becky's promo after Survivor Series, which was insanely fucking cringeworthy. She was crying and fucking bawling her eyes out and blabbering on and on. It's so fucking stupid. But yet this woman's supposed to be a heel. But yet she's going on and on like a baby face about, I just wanted to beat the hell out of her. We were once friends. And now I just wanted to beat the hell out of her. I was just so emotional. Everyone was chanting. I just wanted to beat the hell out of her. The fuck was she saying? So fucking stupid. So, they showed the promo. Insanely cringeworthy. Liv goes, who knew big time Bex cried like such a little baby? You're the reason your friend is gone, just like your big fat contract is the reason my friends are gone. So, Liv goes, how does it feel to become everything you've despised? If last week's punch didn't knock some sense into you, maybe this one will. So Sonya held her back. Sonya separated them, Becky. She got all angry. She got all agitated. She said, some of us deserved to get pay. So fuck WWE right there for that line. She said that we got a 10-woman tag match later in the show. Liv accepted it. I feel bad for Liv Morgan. I really do. I feel bad for Liv Morgan because WWE, and I fucking hate this. It's not just her. It's nearly everyone. Minus Roman Reigns, Kevin Owens, Sami Zayn, Brock Lesnar, and maybe a John Cena whenever he comes back here or there. I fucking despise, I just fucking despise that everyone sounds the fucking same. No one is allowed to stand out. Everyone is over-scripted. Everyone sounds like a fucking robot. Everyone sounds like they're reading off of cue cards. Why the fuck are we still doing these overly scripted promos where everything is micromanaged right down to the very last breath that a superstar takes? It is fucking ridiculous. I feel bad for Liv Morgan. This promo did not do her any good at all. I don't understand how anyone's supposed to take her seriously when she sounds like she's reading off of a fucking cue card, as if she's fucking reading the fucking news on Fox 5. Stop overly scripting these fucking promos. And the way that they use these real life firings just goes to show you how fucking shitty WWE management really is to approve that. Stop overly scripting promos. Stop with this Becky Lynch heel turn. And you know what? I wouldn't even be surprised if Liv Morgan loses and she gets released in about 2 weeks. Liv Morgan is as good as gone, especially after she took that picture with Ruby Soho. RK Bro versus the Dirty Dogs, Raw Tag Team Championships. It was a very good match, but we've seen this shit how many times? It's fucking old, it's fucking tiresome, and no one wants to fucking see it again. It's a decent match, but who gives a shit? We've seen it time and time and time again. Rude and Ziggler, they attacked RK Bro right out of the gate. Riddle was then isolated before Riddle made the tag to Randy, hit a snap power slam on, I believe it was Ziggler. Ziggler came back with a super kick to Orton. Rude with a back suplex to Riddle on the announce table. Riddle then was isolated, or actually no, Riddle was on the apron. Orton was isolated. Riddle got the tag. He lit up everyone. He had a draping DDT. They went for a double RKO, did RK Bro. They went for a double RKO. But Ziggler, him and Rude were able to counter the double RKO. Riddle was sent to the floor. Ziggler with a zigzag. Orton just kicked out. I thought that Rude and Ziggler might have won the titles right then and there. Orton then with a beautiful RKO. Ziggler sold it beautifully, and RK Bro win. Rightfully so. RK Bro should not be losing the titles yet, and they're certainly not going to be losing it to fucking Robert Roode and Dolph Ziggler. Kevin Owens approached Seth Rollins and said that if he beat Big E tonight, he would get added to the match at day one. So then Rollins went to Adam Pearce. Adam Pearce said that he was lying. And then Sonya Deville said, oh, that's not a bad idea. Rollins went back to Adam Pearce again to tell him that Kevin Owens is still lying. And who would have thunk, we get Adam Pearce making the stipulation official. And that's it. Edge returned. Big reaction. He went on to say that this is the best job in the world. He goes, I survived the war inside Hell in a Cell against Seth Rollins. Now he's the number one contender, but he deserves it because he's operating on an entirely different level. So I like that he's putting over Seth Rollins. I appreciate that. He goes, but I'm here to talk about me being on Raw. I got a whole new set of opponents. AJ Styles, Finn Balor, Damian Priest, Big E. He was naming some opponents that he would like to face. He goes, who am I going to face off against next? He was hyping up all these people. All of a sudden, we hear an awesome. And it was anything but awesome. All of a sudden, The Miz. Yes. You heard me correctly. The fucking Miz. The fucking Miz returned. Miz came out with Maurice. Miz goes, they gave you the big return treatment and the big press release. You've been gone for about, what, a month? You take a vacation, you retire. Oh, just kidding. What a big comeback. Whenever I take time off, I never get a triumphant return. But what really pisses me off, one of the greatest female superstars, my wife Maurice, is back. And then I listen to the list of people that you have your eye on, and I'm not on your radar? So, So Miz, obviously speaking out of his ass, he called Maurice one of the greatest female superstars in WWE history. Yep, bullshit. All she has is a great body. Plain and simple. The most memorable thing that Maurice ever did was pose for Playboy. So Edge goes, I thought you were still painting yourself up like a genie and dancing. Didn't you come in 9th place? So Miz goes, you were dancing with injuries, weren't you? Edge goes, you could have went to Adam Pearce, but you interrupted me to place yourself in the main event picture. That's a shoot right there. He got the crowd to chant, Miz sucks. Miz then said, when did you last hold a title? Oh yeah, you were the opening match when I main evented WrestleMania against John Cena. And he said, you should have stayed home for good. Edge goes, you're right. The window is small for me. But I'm the guy that people want to stand across the ring from. That's respect. Something you know nothing about. You bitch and moan that little Mizzy needs a pat on the back. You made it here from Tough Enough. You went all the way to the main event of WrestleMania. You have people saying your name on other shows just to get a cheap reaction. So that's an AEW reference right there. He goes, you've made it higher than anyone thought you could. But you believed in yourself. Me, I fought to get this window back. You use this for notoriety while you leave your partners to get fired. Another reference to the real-life firings. He goes, you expect respect while I earn it. I dare you to jump. Let's do it. Miz then took off his coat. He said no, and then he walked away. Listen, I'm not going to say that The Miz and Edge can't talk. They can cut a promo just fine. I'm pretty sure the promo battles between the two are going to be just fine. We could very well see Beth Phoenix jump in. We could see Beth Phoenix versus Maurice and The Miz. But I want everyone to understand this, and I want everyone to get this through their thick skulls. This entire promo meant nothing. You know why? Because The Miz is fucking worthless. He's worthless. The Miz is worthless. If I am going to be completely honest with you, The Miz, and I don't give a shit if you love The Miz, I don't give a shit if you're a Miz fan, I don't give a shit if you have met The Miz personally, I don't give a shit what is it that you have to be affiliated with The Miz. I don't care if you know Mike Mizanin, or you know his wife, or you've been on fucking Miz TV. The Miz has surpassed his expiration date as a professional wrestler. The Miz has not had one decent program since his feud with Daniel Bryan back in late 2018. Ever since that program with Shane McMahon, and they became the best tag team in the world, and then they went into a WrestleMania match, and The Miz lost to Shane McMahon 3 times. Ever since that feud with Shane McMahon, The Miz has been one of the biggest waste of space. The biggest waste of space is. However the fuck you pronounce it. Whatever the proper grammar you use. I'm not a fucking English major. I'm a fucking accounting major. The point that I'm trying to make is The Miz has not had any value since that feud with Daniel Bryan. The Miz, as we speak, is valueless. Doesn't matter if he could cut a promo. Doesn't matter how good the match is going to be. It doesn't matter at all. The biggest thing that The Miz did, the most notable thing, the only thing that was halfway decent that The Miz ever did, ever since that feud with Daniel Bryan, was compete in that great tag team match at WrestleMania with Damian Priest, Bad Bunny, and John Morrison. Outside of that, Miz hasn't done jack shit in 3 fucking years. Truth be told, I am legitimately counting down the days until Miz retires as a professional wrestler. There is absolutely nothing that they can do to spark up any interest with the fucking Miz. No one's going to give a shit about the Miz. He's not going to fucking sell out arenas. He's not going to generate any interest in this program with Edge. And whatever Edge does after this program with the Miz, this program with the Miz is ultimately going to be forgotten by the time WrestleMania season is done. By the time WrestleMania season is done, this entire feud, this entire program with the Miz, it's going to be completely fucking forgotten. It's going to be completely forgotten. The Miz is worthless. The Miz is worth just about as much as the fucking lint in my back pocket. The Miz is valueless. Nobody gives a shit about the Miz. And if you do, you're either A, lying to yourself, or you're B, in the minority. And your opinion is worth just about as much as the fucking dog shit that my dog took on my neighbor's lawn yesterday morning. I'm sorry to piss you off, but the Miz ain't gonna do shit. This program with Edge is a complete waste of time. And on top of that, some people were saying that this was nothing more than a carbon copy of what CM Punk and MJF did last week on Dynamite. I mean, it's very difficult not for me not to sit here, and I was trying not to say that. But at the end of the day, it's very difficult for me to sit here and not say what others have said about this promo. This promo was nothing more than a carbon copy of what we saw with Punk and MJF. And the way that WWE just mapped this out, they legitimately just brought back Edge for no fucking reason, and they threw him in there with The Miz. And might I also add, Edge, he was not slated to return this year. Edge and Lesnar and who fucking else? Edge and Lesnar, I'm pretty sure we're going to see Bill Goldberg at some point. But Edge and Lesnar, they weren't slated to return this year. Edge was not slated to be back until the Royal Rumble. Same thing with Brock Lesnar. They were going to be off of television throughout the year. But what happened? Oh yeah, that's right. There's no fucking buzz or interest around the WWE product. So WWE's like, you know what? Let's call up Adam Copeland. Let's call up Mr. Brock Lesnar. And lo and behold, here they are. But here's the thing. They ain't going to generate any interest. The ratings are only going to continue to sink lower and lower into the fucking abyss. And the WWE product right now, it's only going to continue to go downhill. A promo that was nothing more than a carbon copy of Punk and MJF, a promo that will ultimately be forgotten, a feud that will ultimately be forgotten, and a feud that will ultimately be meaningless in the end. The Miz is worthless. There is nothing that The Miz will be able to do until, there's something that The Miz will be able to do that people will care about for the rest of his career. The Miz has surpassed his expiration date as a professional wrestler. I am legitimately hoping and praying that Miz fucking retires from pro wrestling and goes off to Hollywood. There is nothing appealing about The Miz at all. And if you say that there is, you are a fucking retard. Plain and simple. You're a fucking retard. What a fucking joke. Street Profits versus Alpha Academy. AJ Styles and Omos came out to watch. AJ was wearing sunglasses because after he got sprayed in the face with the fire extinguisher, he couldn't see, acting like fucking the three blind mice out there. But of course he was bullshitting everyone. Styles tried to jump up on the apron, but Ford stopped him. Ford with the frog splash, and he beat Chad Gable. Chad Gable, he's being jobbed out, just like Kevin Owens is being jobbed out, just like Sami Zayn's being jobbed out. They're gone. They're all gone. Let's move on from Robert Roode and Dolph Ziggler, and let's put the Street Profits in there with RK Bro at WWE Day 1. That would be an excellent fucking match. Damian Priest versus Apollo Crews, the United States Championship. I feel bad for these two. I really do. They were trying. They were really trying to get the crowd invested, but no one gave a shit. Nobody gave a shit. So, Crews took over with a flying knee off the apron. That took out Damian Priest. Coming back from commercial, we saw Apollo Crews with a nice power bomb and a standing moonsault that got a 2 count. Then we saw Priest come back with a strike combination and a springboard leg lariat for a 2 count. We had Commander Aziz pulling Crews away. The ref was distracted by Crews, and Aziz took out Priest. And then all of a sudden, the ref caught on to what Aziz was doing, and he ejected Commander Aziz from ringside. Priest then became unhinged. He hit the South of Heaven on Apollo Crews, and then he hit the Reckoning. And Priest retains the United States title. Nothing crazy. You know, I feel really bad for Damian Priest. And I'll tell you why. The WWE product as a whole is just so fucking bad to a point where the overall negative vibe around the WWE product, that negative vibe is starting to take effect on the few decent things that are actually on WWE television. Damian Priest is one of them. Damian Priest is very good at what he does. He's been protected. His U.S. title reign has been booked somewhat decently. He's been winning matches. He hasn't taken a pinfall loss for no reason. He's been successfully defending the title week in and week out. Successful title defenses over Drew, over Sheamus, over Jeff Hardy, over Apollo Crews, Sami Zayn. He's been fucking working his ass off to get that fucking championship reign over, but no one gives a shit because the overall vibe around the WWE is just, this company sucks. And it's starting to take an effect on the few decent things that the WWE actually has going for them. And Damian Priest is one of them. I feel terrible for Damian Priest. I really do. And you know for a fact that they're going to end up blaming Damian Priest for this. They're not going to blame themselves. They're going to end up blaming Damian Priest, and they're going to fucking bury him when all is said and done. Hurt Business versus Rey and Dominic Mysterio. Rey and Dominic Mysterio win with the double 619 and the frog splash. I would not mind seeing the Mysterios versus RK Bro, or the Hurt Business versus RK Bro. If anything, I would have the Hurt Business take the titles off of RK Bro at WrestleMania. Give them a big WrestleMania moment. Team Liv versus Team Bex. Didn't even pay attention to this match. This match fucking sucked. You know that there was people backstage that were actually praising this match, or they were very happy with Dana Brooke and Doudrop's performance? I mean, if that does not go to show you how fucking tone deaf WWE really is, this match fucking sucked. The women's division fucking blows dick. And at the end of the fucking day, if you are not saying anything, and if you're not revolting when these matches happen and fighting for a better fucking women's division, man, I don't know what the fuck you are on, but you are clearly on some type of special medication, or you must be a fucking drug addict. This is absolutely fucking terrible. Liv Morgan wins with the Oblivion on Tamina Snuka. How is Tamina Snuka still employed? Woman fucking sucks rhinoceros testicles. She is one of the worst professional wrestlers ever. We had a big brawl with Liv Morgan and Becky Lynch, and she hit the Oblivion on Becky. That was it. Big E and Kevin Owens. Big E and Kevin Owens. Big E and Kevin Owens. Who gives a shit? Owens was trying to bait Rollins into getting him DQ'd, and it ended up working. Rollins, like a fucking retard, jumps in. He jumps in, and we see Rollins attack Owens. Rollins loses his cool. I don't fucking understand. I don't. I don't fucking understand why. I don't fucking understand why WWE always has to make their talent look like fucking retards. How many times have we fucking seen this? Said superstar has a match. If they win, they get a title match. So what does the individual that's not wrestling do? He causes a DQ like a fucking idiot. And lo and behold, now we get a triple threat. And by the way, this triple threat is only being made because Owens is going to take the pin. He's gone. Owens is gone. Owens is going to take the pin, and we will see Kevin Owens lose the WWE title match, only to get a one-on-one match between Rollins and Big E at the Rumble, and we're going to see Kevin Owens in AEW sooner rather than later. That was Monday Night Raw. It sucked cock. Leo, let Earl promote. I allow him to promote. I allowed him to promote because he's a good friend of mine, so Earl Cole gets special privileges. So, Leo, leave Earl Cole alone. He can promote his channel all he wants. That was Monday Night Raw. That was Monday Night Raw. We got exactly 12 people in the chat. My cough is killing me. But we got exactly 12 people in the chat. We got 12 likes. Please make sure you hit the like button if you have not already done so. Share the stream out on all platforms of social media. We are going to get right into the AEW Dynamite review, which was a very, very, very good show. A lot of good material happening on AEW Dynamite, and we're going to dissect it starting right now. So strap yourself in. Not too many rants. No rants, actually, coming from AEW, because AEW is doing things correctly. Dynamite started off with Bryan Danielson versus Allen 5 Angels. And this was pretty solid. Pretty solid for only 6 minutes. I could have watched these guys go another 10 minutes. It was that good. So we had some stiff strikes traded back and forth early on. We had Angels coming in with a shotgun drop kick, a tope suicida, and a huge moonsault to the floor. Angels with a very nice standing Spanish fly on Bryan for a 2. He missed the moonsault. Bryan with a huge running knee, the Boost Psycho knee. And then all of a sudden, Bryan with the head stomps and then a heel hook. And Angels taps out. Bryan didn't let go. Bryan then flexed, showed off everything. He soaked in everything. Tony Schiavone interviewed Bryan Danielson, and he goes, "If that's the best Atlanta's got, I kicked his ass. Last week, I knocked out Colt Cabana's tooth. This week, I snapped Angels' MCL. And in 2 weeks in Dallas, home of the Cowboys, that's when I take your AEW World Championship." He was talking to Adam Hangman Page, who was on commentary. And he goes, "That's when I show that it's not cowboy shit, it's coward shit." So Page then got up. John Silver then came out and he goes, "You can't touch Bryan, but I can, and that's what I'm going to do." So he ran down to the ring. Bryan got out. He approached Page and he goes, "I would love to slap your face in, but these people don't deserve it." So we are going to get Bryan Danielson versus John Silver next week, and then Bryan Danielson and Adam Page in the main event of Winter is Coming. And it's going to be a damn good fucking program. It's going to be damn good. Lee Moriarty versus CM Punk. MJF was on commentary. He was booed. Crowd was booing the shit out of him. And he was calling CM Punk PG Punk. I fucking love MJF. MJF is fucking legendary. He really is. But this was a very good match. And Lee Moriarty, I gotta tell you, Lee Moriarty, he very much impressed. Lee Moriarty, he is a very good professional wrestler. And Lee Moriarty, let me tell you something. He got some really nice showcase in this match. He was really giving it to Punk. There was some people, I think it was Grimm. Fucking Grimm's Toy Show. This fat-ass slob that somehow makes a living by being anti-AEW, this guy was trying to compare Lee Moriarty and CM Punk to Apollo Crews and Damian Priest. First off, the difference is quite simple. The biggest difference, of course, I mean, he's too fucking stupid. He has more hair follicles on his fucking back than he does brain cells. Let's be real. Grim, you fucking retard! He's probably not watching, but at the same point in time, I hope someone sends this clip to him because I love making him look stupid. Hey, Grim, you want to know what the difference between those two matches is? Number one, the United States Championship was on the line between Apollo Crews and Damian Priest. Apollo Crews hasn't won a match since June. Apollo Crews has not been winning matches, yet he's getting a title shot for doing nothing. Meanwhile, Lee Moriarty and CM Punk, this is not a championship match. This is a match where two people are jockeying for position. On top of that, this is a match to get Lee Moriarty exposure on television because maybe, just maybe, I don't know, maybe they want to see if Lee Moriarty has the potential to be a big star down the line. Maybe they want to give him a test run against CM Punk. Maybe they want to make him look good. They want to make him look strong in defeat against one of the best wrestlers in the fucking game. Did you ever think about that? Or are you just too stupid and too focused on what you're having from McDonald's at lunch today? Maybe you're too focused on what you're going to have from fucking Taco Bell on Monday. Maybe you're too focused on what you're going to fucking have from White Castle on Wednesday. You could join Bruce Pritchard eating 50 White Castle sliders. You fat, hairy slob. I swear to God, he pisses me the fuck off to no end. I fucking hate him. Hate him with every fiber of my being. Maybe next time, don't come into my mentions. Don't come into my mentions and don't try and make a name for yourself at my expense before you go to an AEW show, because I could have easily approached you. I saw you sticking out like a sore thumb, a very large sore thumb, in the front row at AEW Dynamite. You dare come into my mentions, you better be approaching me. Say it to my face. I hate him. Hate him. He ruins the wrestling community. Lee Moriarty and CM Punk. I got a little sidetracked there. I apologize. This was a very good match. Lee Moriarty has a lot of potential, and I'm loving what he can do. So Moriarty was working a very technical pace before Punk came back with a leg lariat. Lee Moriarty came in with an arm snap, a big lariat and a punt kick, big elbow and a belly-to-belly for a 2. We had a crossbody by Lee, or on Lee by Punk. Lee rolled through. Punk kicked out. We had a crossface, but Punk got to the ropes. Punk and Lee were on the top. We had a Hurricane Rana reversed into a pin. Back and forth pins. We had a roundhouse kick to the head. Moriarty with the soda twist. We had a lifting neck breaker and a tight pin. Punk just barely kicked out. Really good near fall right there. Punk eventually rolled through. He pulled Lee Moriarty into a GTS from a reverse suplex position, and he got the 1-2-3 in a very good match. MJF then took the mic and he goes, "Last week you said you were disappointed in me, but I'm actually proud of you. You're struggling to beat QT Marshall and Lee Moriarty. Guess you're just the best in the world at getting in Britt Baker's pants." And I also had some more social justice warrior cock blocks and social justice warrior pussies trying to say that, oh, this was nothing more than a juvenile high school insult. These fucking cocksuckers that want everyone to be fucking cookie cutter, these Steve Urkel looking asswipes trying to come at me, trying to argue with me. Man, the block button got a really hefty workout. I'm surprised. I'll be surprised if some of them are still on social media because they got fucking reported and they got suspended because I'm the fucking ruler of the IWC here. At the end of the day, everyone will understand that I am God. I make the rules. You don't come at the king. You don't come at the king and don't expect consequences, asswipes. So that was a great line. If you're offended by it, you're a fucking pussy. Punk took the mic and he says, you got a lot of nerve talking about pants when you're wearing Larry David's pajamas. So bring your little needle dick into this ring and I'll kick your ass back to Long Island. MJF goes, you need me more than I need you. You haven't had a spark since 2011. Next week, I'll win the Dynamite Diamond Dozen Battle Royal, where I'll be among real wrestling fans, and I'll be better than Brett in Canada and better than Punk in Chicago. He goes, I guess you brought your dog Larry because I hear him yapping in the back. I wouldn't bring that dog here because if you do, I'll put Larry to sleep. Man, MJF, holy shit. I fucking love MJF. He is fucking excellent. And if you are going to try and deny that what he's doing is revolutionary, then you are in complete denial. And I would not advise you to continue to watch pro wrestling. I would advise you to find another hobby. This was excellent. So Punk ran up the ramp. Wardlow then got in between them, and the refs came out to separate them. Rob Wells Jr., I will be talking about Sami Zayn later on in the stream, so just sit tight, brother. Adam Cole. Adam Cole, he came out. He did his Adam Cole Bay shtick. He went to do commentary, but Orange Cassidy came out and stared down Cole. Cole then got up. He stood face-to-face with Cassidy. Cassidy then put his hands in his pockets before the Bucks came out. He turned around and he hit light super kicks on the Bucks. Adam Cole then hit a low blow on Cassidy. The Bucks then with light super kicks and a big double super kick. But the best friends came out to help and the Elite ran off. So we are looking at Mr. Orange Cassidy versus Adam Cole. That is going to be a great interim program before we see Adam Cole eventually challenge Adam Page for the World Championship. I like it. I like it a lot. Wardlow versus AC Adams. Wardlow just absolutely destroyed AC Adams. 4 powerbombs in a row, and he wins. And then Shawn Spears hit Adams with a steel chair, and he raised Wardlow's hand. That was it. And we are definitely, absolutely looking at Wardlow versus MJF at some point in the future before MJF eventually gets to the World Championship. Gun Club versus Darby Allin and Sting. We had great looking face paint on Darby Allin and Sting's face. Awesome stuff. So Sting and Billy Gunn had a face-off. Crowd popped. Billy caught Darby with a very nice Cobra Clutch slam. Darby was selling and bumping all over the place. Darby was isolated. Darby then fought back. He was busted open on the top of his head. Little color, I certainly don't mind. Sting then splashed Colton and Billy. He got the tag. He was on fire. Billy caused a distraction. Austin Gunn broke up a submission. Sting had Colton in the Scorpion Deathlock. Austin Gunn broke up the submission while Billy distracted the ref. Then Darby, like he was shot out of a fucking cannon with a nasty-looking fucking suicide dive, he took out Austin Gunn. And then Billy Gunn in the ring, he had a famouser to Sting. Colton covered, but Sting kicked out. Darby with a fucking suicide dive to Billy Gunn, bounced right off of Billy Gunn like he bounced off a fucking trampoline. Darby with an over-the-top stunner to Colton, and then Sting with a Scorpion Death Drop, and they get the win. Fun little match, but nothing too crazy. This is the end of this program, and the reason why this was done was this was simply an interim program because come winter is coming, Darby's absolutely going to be on the show. We are going to get Wyndham Rotunda. I'm calling it right now. Wyndham Rotunda is going to debut. Wyndham Rotunda's debuting, and we will get Wyndham versus Darby come Revolution next year. And what we are seeing here is a story being played out. We are going to see Sting and Darby winning tag team matches, but Sting is the one that's getting the win. Darby is losing big singles matches. He lost to Punk. He lost to MJF. Wyndham comes in. He's going to lose to Wyndham. This is going to spark up a storyline where Darby Allin is going to have Sting turn on him. Sting's going to turn heel. We're going to get Darby and Sting in a one-on-one match, and we will see Darby Allin beat Sting en route to having Darby Allin eventually challenge MJF in the future for the World Championship. This is all part of a story. The Gun Club were merely used as a bridge to get Darby to Winter is Coming, and we're going to see Wyndham make his debut. Wyndham Rotunda and Darby Allin at Revolution next year. The program's starting at Winter is Coming. Just you wait. But again, I'm not really going to complain about the match. It was fun, and it was merely a program just to get Darby and Sting a win and build on the storyline to get Darby to Winter is Coming for Wyndham. 2.0 and Daniel Garcia, they attacked Chris Jericho backstage. They attacked Chris Jericho backstage. Pretty good stuff. I'm actually loving what 2.0 are doing. Lio Rush came out and he stood face to face with Team Taz, and Taz was on commentary with Will Hobbs and Ricky Starks. He goes, "Taz, you're a commentator," said Leo, "and it is your job to know me, and I've had the odds stacked against me." Taz was saying how they took Dante away from him and how they got like a 125% chance of winning the Dynamite Diamond Dozen Battle Royal next week. I could absolutely see Hobbs winning it. I would not mind seeing Hobbs win it. I think that would be a very nice, very, very, very nice interim victory for Hobbs. Punk could cost MJF. And we could very well see Lio Rush and Powerhouse Hobbs come down to it. And we could see Powerhouse Hobbs win it. I would love to see Powerhouse Hobbs wearing that Dynamite Diamond ring, wearing suits. He could legitimately be their version of Bobby Lashley if they want to. Powerhouse Hobbs could legitimately be AEW's version of Bobby Lashley, coming out with sunglasses and suits with the Dynamite Diamond ring on his hand. I would love to see Powerhouse Hobbs win. Powerhouse Hobbs winning that match would be very, very good. So Lio Rush says that he's a fighter. Dante and Ricky Starks came out and they rub the fact that Dante signed with Team Taz in Leo's face. Rather odd and a rather awkward segment, but I'm pretty sure that the in-ring work between Ricky Starks and Lio Rush, or Lio Rush and Powerhouse Hobbs, that is definitely going to make up for this awkward segment. Chris Statlander versus Ruby Soho. And I know that Top Rope Squishy, she's going to be mad about this. Top Rope Squishy, I know you're watching. Ruby Soho will be the new TBS champion, and it's going to be fantastic. This was a very good match. Excellent match between these two. And this goes to show you that AEW's women's division has really grown, and it has really become a destination, no pun intended, with Ruby Soho. It's become a destination where women are going to go in order to make a name for themselves. Very swift back and forth counters early on. Soho took over. Statlander with a very nice vertical suplex. Ruby came back with a diving senton off the top. Statlander kicked out. Statlander with a Beautiful blue thunder bomb. That got a 2 count. Statlander with a buckle bomb and a beautiful falcon arrow, but Soho still kicked out. Soho and Statlander traded kicks and strikes back and forth. Soho with a devastating looking poison Rana to Chris Statlander and a big spike Rana. But Statlander still kicked out. Statlander went for the Big Bang Theory. Soho reversed it into a tight jackknife cover, and Soho got the win. Excellent match. Right outcome. Nyla Rose then came up from behind Soho while Vicky was distracting Statlander, and we get Nyla Rose taking out Ruby Soho ahead of their match. And that was that. Excellent match. And I think Nyla and Ruby are going to put on a very good match. Nyla is very underrated. Nyla's very good. And I honestly do believe that Nyla and Ruby are going to tear the house down. And Ruby Soho, Nyla Rose, she's very good at what she does, and she's going to do her damnedest to get Ruby over. And I appreciate that from Nyla. Jamie Hayter versus Riho. That's also next week. We also got Bryan Danielson and John Silver, and we also got Rocky Romero and Chuck Taylor versus the Young Bucks. So it should be a very nice show next week. And then we got the Dynamite Diamond Dozen Battle Royal. Should be solid. Main event. Fucking crazy match between Andrade El Idolo and Cody Rhodes. And Andrade and Charlotte Flair are no longer together. They are no longer engaged, which is kind of shocking, but yet not shocking at the same time, because nobody really wants to be around Charlotte with the way that she's been acting. And she's not going to AEW, as far as I can see it. This was an Atlanta street fight, and this was fucking crazy. This was awesome. So the brawl started immediately. Arn Anderson then brawled with Jose into the back. Cody then brought in a chair. He busted Andrade over the head with it. Cody then had shit on his back. I think it might have been flame retardant because he went through a fucking flaming table, and we'll talk about that. Andrade then hit Cody in the head with Jose's laptop. Andrade then hit Cody in the head with a chair. Andrade then brought out a table. He hit a split-legged moonsault on Cody with a chair on him. Cody then with a low blow. Very heelish. Cody with a low blow. Very heelish. The facial expressions. He seemed like he was ready to turn. He's like, yeah, I'm a fucking heel now. Very heelish facial reactions by Cody. Andrade then shoved Cody to the floor. Coming back from commercial, Cody with a chain wrapped around his fist. Then he punched Andrade with it. Andrade then blocked a suicide dive with a steel chair. Cody then backdropped Andrade onto exposed concrete. He brought out a kendo stick. He threw it away. He brought out Triple H's sledgehammer. He threw it away. He brought out a fucking golden shovel, which got a pop out of me. Jose came running out, and Jose got hit with the golden shovel. Thanks for coming, Jose. Andrade then with a huge crossbody to the floor. Andrade then brought out a table. He set it up, and he hip-tossed Cody through the table. We had another table set up. Both men were on the top. All of a sudden, we see Brandy Rhodes come in. She lights the table. She drizzles lighter fluid on the table, and then we have a fucking lighter, and she lights the table on fucking fire. Cody with a reverse superplex through the flaming table. Andrade went face first into the fire. Cody, his arm was still on fire. His arm was still on fire, and he covered Andrade for the win. I swear to God, this was fucking insane. You could not pay me all the money in the world to do that. Fucking insane. Great fucking match. Andrade loses absolutely nothing. I don't want to hear that Andrade's buried. I don't want to hear that he's ruined. I don't want to hear that Cody buried him. The guy lasted 20 minutes in the main event of Dynamite with Cody, and he went through a flaming fucking table. That's not buried. What happened with Bianca at SummerSlam, that was buried. This was not buried. Great fucking main event to cap off a very good episode of Dynamite. We're going to move on to NXT UK. Once again, I appreciate each and every single one of you who are sticking by in this chat. You guys are great. NXT UK. A little bit of a disappointing episode, but I'm not really blaming, I'm not really going to blame Triple H or Shawn Michaels or the competitors for that. This show was mainly built around Rampage Brown versus Ilya Dragunov, which ended via a referee stoppage because Rampage Brown was legitimately knocked out. And we'll talk about that in a little bit. But we had Meiko Satomura and Xia Brookside kicking off the show. Really nothing crazy right here. This was just another title defense for Meiko Satomura against Xia Brookside. This was for the NXT UK Women's Championship. Satomura worked a very technical pace. We had a roundhouse kick by Xia Brookside and then a code breaker for a 2. Satomura with a Pele kick, a Death Valley driver, and then a big Scorpio rising. Looked great. Satomura wins. Match didn't make any sense because Xia Brookside has been losing, but I guess Xia Brookside could be in for a heel turn, and she's starting to use her last name to make it in NXT UK. She's starting to use her last name to get what she wants. But this was really nothing crazy. Just another title defense for Meiko before we eventually get Meiko versus Blair Davenport, in which Blair Davenport will win the NXT UK Women's Championship. We had Rohan Raja and Charlie Dempsey. They had a great fucking segment. They were on top of a roof talking about legacy. It looked like they were planning an assassination. I swear to God, it looked like they were fucking hitmen. It looked great. I soured on Tio Man. I soured on Rohan Raja. I soured on Charlie Dempsey, but now they're together, and I'm telling you right now, it's almost like I'm watching the UK version of John Wick. It looks great. I am loving what they're doing. I'm really loving what they're doing. It looked awesome. It looked awesome. We had Saxon Huxley versus Kenny Williams. Huxley and Williams put on a decent match. Really nothing overly special, but it was a decent match. So Huxley was in control early before Williams came back with a punt kick. Vicious stomps. We had a senton to the back. Huxley still kicked out. Then he hit chop blocks, or he was hit by chop blocks by Williams. We had Mr. Williams getting clotheslined by Mr. Saxon Huxley a couple times. We had a military press toss and a backbreaker. All of a sudden, Williams was in control, and Subculture's music hits. Williams gets distracted like a fucking idiot. Saxon Huxley with a fireman's carry slam, and Saxon Huxley gets the win. Nothing crazy. Decent match. Williams looked like a fucking retard. I'm sick of these fucking distractions. Stop doing distraction finishes like that when it makes your opponent look dumb. Next week, we got Amelia McKenzie versus Blair Davenport, and we also got Pretty Deadly, Yes Boy, versus Mustache Mountain. That's next week. You know, Hibiki, he's not in the chat right now, but Hibiki, he's been saying that Pretty Deadly are not losing the titles to Mustache Mountain, and we're going to see a heel turn by Trent Seven. Listen, a heel turn by Trent Seven against the babyface Tyler Bate, that's a great idea. But that's not happening until after they win the tag team titles. You don't introduce NXT UK tag team titles and not give them to Mustache Mountain. You don't. Jack Stars and Dave Mastiff are never going to be as over as Mustache Mountain if they fight Pretty Deadly for the tag team titles. We are going to see Mustache Mountain win the titles. If they don't win the titles, it would be a huge fucking mistake. Mustache Mountain wins the tag team titles. Simple. No debate. No debate. Mustache Mountain wins the tag team titles, and then we move on from that, and we eventually get the heel turn, but after they win the tag team titles. They're the biggest babyface tag team in NXT UK. You're not going to have them go without the tag team titles. Mustache Mountain must win next week. Main event was Ilya Dragunov versus Rampage Brown. This was for the NXT UK Championship. It was starting off very well, but the finish came when Ilya Dragunov hit a big step-up enziguri that caught Rampage Brown right on the top of the head. The toe of the boot caught him right in the top of the head, and he was legitimately knocked out. And the ref had to call for the bell, and we get Ilya Dragunov retaining via a referee stoppage. I just hope that Brown is okay. I hope that Brown is okay. We're absolutely getting another match. We're absolutely going to get another match. There's no way we're not. We're going to get another match, and we will see Rampage Brown and Ilya Dragunov fight for real. Just watch. Other than that, really nothing crazy to watch NXT UK. I'm hoping they get back on the right track. I would love to see a Mustache Mountain win next week, hopefully. See what happens. DD, I know you're the only one here. I'm not sure where everyone else went, but I know that there are some people still watching me. I'm hoping that my girl, Lisa Marie, she's watching me. Hope that she's watching me. She's an MJF mark, but I don't know what she's going to do when CM Punk beats MJF. I know you're watching, Lisa. I know you're watching. Anyway. You want to talk about how bad SmackDown was? I mean, I certainly don't. I just want to fucking go home and relax because my foot's fucking killing me and this cough is fucking killing me. But we're going to talk about SmackDown anyway. SmackDown. Absolutely fucking terrible outside of the first two segments. The first segment was very good. Brock Lesnar, he kicked off the show. He took the mic. He goes, I'm here tonight for one reason and one reason only, the Universal Championship. All of a sudden, Sami Zayn interrupts with his terrible theme music. And Sami goes, finally, our paths cross. In some ways, our careers have been paralleled. We have a lot in common, minus a few UFC wins and a couple of WrestleMania main events. But I gotta be honest. We're two Canadian alpha males, and no disrespect to you, I'm a fan. So Brock goes, listen, shut up. So Brock had enough. He goes, I'm confused. I got the slightest idea of who the hell you are. You got a lot of balls interrupting me. I am a citizen of Canada. I live in Saskatchewan. I hunt things in Saskatchewan. I kill things in Saskatchewan. I eat things in Saskatchewan. Now tell me who the hell you think you are and why I haven't ripped your head off. So Sami goes, I'm the number one contender for the Universal Championship at day one. And once I beat Roman, Brock Lesnar versus Sami Zayn, no questions asked, I will roll out the red carpet for you. So Brock goes, oh man, now it's all starting to come so clear. But who's playing you, Sami? And he goes, why wait till day one? He put his arm around Sami. He's like, I can picture it now. Sami? Right. Sami Zayn, Roman Reigns for the Universal Championship right here tonight in San Antonio. So Sami tried to make excuses. Brock kept egging him on. Sami said, no thank you. He touched Brock, and you don't touch Brock Lesnar. And Sami goes, listen, I shouldn't have put my hands on you. Brock then wrenched Sami's hand, and Sami goes, hey, yeah, we'll do it tonight. And Brock goes, I'll be in your corner, and I want to witness it all. And Sami goes, you'll see a new Universal Champion tonight. Brock Lesnar shut a lot of people up. He can handle himself very well on the microphone. Brock Lesnar doesn't need Paul Heyman. He's very, very well spoken on the microphone, and he has done very well for himself since splitting from Paul Heyman. This was a very good segment. Both men played their roles very, very well. I liked it a lot. Really good stuff right here. Really, really, really good stuff. Shayna Baszler and Sasha Banks. Decent little match right here. Both these women worked very well together. Banks with a nice meteor off the apron. That got a 2 count. Coming back from commercial, Sasha came in with a tornado DDT for a 2. Careful to clutch. Locked in tight. Sasha was able to reverse it into the Banks statement, but Baszler reversed it. Baszler with a big knee right to the face. Banks then reversed it into a Hurricane Rana, and she got the 1-2-3. 1-2-3 victory. Sasha Banks wins. Decent little match. I got to tell you, Sasha Banks has got to be in the top conversation. She's got to be a top contender to win the Women's Royal Rumble. She's got to. She has to. There's really nobody left. Charlotte Flair literally has no competition on SmackDown outside of Toni Storm and Sasha Banks. And they're doing Toni Storm now. And we all know that Toni Storm's not winning the SmackDown Women's Championship. She should. It should really be Toni and Charlotte. Toni Storm should really win the championship. It should be Toni and Charlotte. But at the end of the fucking day, it's not. Toni Storm is going to be a proverbial jobber for Charlotte Flair. And then she's going to get released. Guaranteed she'll be released in 3 months. Who else is there to take on Charlotte? There's nobody but Sasha. Nobody but Sasha. That's it. There's nobody but Sasha. Sasha's going to win the Royal Rumble. And listen, there's a few positives with it. They could tell the story of Sasha getting her first WrestleMania win. I would not mind that. They could tell the story of Sasha Banks finally getting that big victory over Charlotte, right? But that's about it. No new stars are made. They're pushing the same fucking people over and over and over and over and over again. So who gives a shit? But Sasha's definitely in top conversation to win the Women's Royal Rumble. There's really nobody else. Unless Rhea Ripley wins and we see Rhea Ripley versus Becky Lynch at WrestleMania. We could see that. Happy talk with Happy Corbin. Talked about Jeff Hardy losing last week. Moss made a joke about Hardy and Drew McIntyre then came out. And then he caused a distraction while Jeff Hardy came up from behind Corbin, hit a twist of fate on Corbin and a twist of fate on Moss. Drew came in with a claymore, and they stood tall, and that was it. Listen, I understand. I really do. I understand that you're not just going to put Drew McIntyre and Jeff Hardy in a program with Roman Reigns right out of the gate. I get it. But is this really the best that you have for these two? Happy Corbin and Madcap Moss? Happy Corbin and the Happy Corbin gimmick fell off a fucking cliff the moment that they introduced Madcap Moss. This is really the best that you have for Drew McIntyre and Jeff Hardy in the interim? It's fucking ridiculous. Xia Li debuts next week. And we had the Viking Raiders versus Los Lotharios. This match went 60 seconds. Nakamura and Boogs tried for the distraction. Angel then rolled up, I believe, not Angel, Humberto then rolled up Eric for the 1-2-3 win. Fucking ridiculous. And then afterwards, we had Nakamura and Boogs making a peace offering to the Viking Raiders by playing their theme song. How anyone is okay with the way that this match and the tag team division was booked is beyond me. It's beyond me. It is fucking sad. It really is. It's sad, it's ridiculous, and it's quite honestly pathetic. What a joke. Jay and Jimmy Uso came out. They cut a promo hyping up Roman. They said they were going to smash Woods' spirit. Woods came out, and he introduced Sir Kofi Kingston. Kofi's back. Who gives a shit? Xavier Woods versus Jay Uso. This match went 3 minutes. Not even 3 minutes. Jimmy caused the DQ. Kofi came in, hit Trouble in Paradise on Jay, and Jimmy got taken out as the New Day stood tall. And at day one, what do we get? What do we get? Oh, yeah, that's right. It's New Day versus the Usos. Yeah, we haven't seen that one before. Xavier Woods is one of the worst King of the Ring winners ever. I don't give a shit if he's a good guy. I don't give a shit if you're a fan of Xavier Woods. This is cold, hard facts right here. And if you don't like it or you don't agree with it, you don't agree with it, you can suck my cock. Xavier Woods is one of the worst King of the Ring winners ever. Absolutely ever. You know why? He's done nothing with it. He's made a joke out of it. He's acting like a poor man's King Booker. And all that we're getting from Woods is Woods going into a tag team program with Kofi Kingston against the Usos. How many fucking times have we seen that? It's the same shit over and over again. Nothing we haven't already seen. Xavier Woods should not have won King of the Ring. And anyone who's in support of Xavier Woods winning King of the Ring, you are the exact fucking problem with WWE. King of the Ring should not be anything but a tournament to crown a number one contender for the top world championship on said brand. Enough of this shitty King gimmick. Woods is a terrible fucking King of the Ring winner. You have Woods win King of the Ring, but you release Keith Lee, you release Karrion Kross, you don't put Cedric in the tournament, you have Ricochet job out, you don't give it to Balor. You have Jinder Mahal in the fucking tournament. Fucking terrible. Charlotte Flair came out. I think you already know the code. Can everyone just type in the code for me, please? Because I don't even feel like saying it. Because I'm just so fucking done with WWE. What's the code, people? We're talking about Charlotte Flair here. Thank you. Thank you. So she went on about Toni Storm embarrassing her and burying her, just like Bruce and Vince are burying her. She then denied Toni Storm's challenge and then soaked in the crowd reaction. Toni Storm then came up from behind Charlotte Flair with, I don't even think it was a pie. It wasn't even a pie. It was just a tinfoil pie holder full of whipped cream. It wasn't even a fucking pie. It was just a plate full of whipped cream. Just a plate full of whipped cream. It wasn't even a pie. Toni Storm came up from Charlotte Flair with a plate full of whipped cream and pied Charlotte Flair in the face. Pied her in the face. I want everyone to think about this for a minute. On AEW, you have 12 women. Chris Statlander, Ruby Soho, Nyla Rose, Jade Cargill, Jamie Hayter, Thunder Rosa, to name a few. They're all busting their ass, wrestling in the ring, fighting to determine the first ever TBS champion. Fighting to make that title mean something. Fighting to make that title mean something. Right? Meanwhile, on SmackDown, the supposed A show for WWE, we have Toni Storm and Charlotte Flair, two women who are very good professional wrestlers, and the program between these two for the SmackDown Women's Championship is being built around who's getting pied in the face. Let that sink in. Let that sink in. A SmackDown women's title program between Charlotte Flair and Toni Storm is being built around one woman throwing pie in the face of another woman and vice versa. I mean, need I say more? Need I say more? It is absolutely fucking ridiculous. A woman getting pie-faced. If I want fucking pie-face, I'll just play that fucking game, pie-face, over at my fucking grandmother's house where you put whipped cream on a sponge and you press buttons to see who's going to get pied in the face first. That's what I need when I want pie-face. I don't need that on my fucking wrestling program. Cesaro versus Sheamus. This match went 5 minutes. Decent little match, but it went 5 minutes. Sheamus wins with a bro kick. On no planet, no fucking planet whatsoever, should Sheamus and Cesaro only get 5 minutes to wrestle. No planet at all. What a joke. Sami Zayn and Roman Reigns. This was going to be for the Universal Championship. Sami took the mic and he started ranting and raving, saying that he'll only have Brock Lesnar to thank. Brock Lesnar then came out. Brock then got in the ring, and Sami goes, your track record against Roman Reigns hasn't really been very good, but I'm not disrespecting you. Brock then heard enough, suplexed Zayn, gave him 2 F5s, and then propped him up in the corner and walked away. Roman Reigns then came out with Paul Heyman, and the Usos picked up Sami. Sami could barely stand. Reigns hit a spear, locked Sami Zayn in the guillotine, and then Sami tapped out immediately. 15 seconds. 15 seconds. Not even. I don't even know where to begin with this. If you needed an indication, if you needed a wake-up call as to what WWE thought of Sami Zayn, this right here was the cherry on top of the cake. Sami Zayn has been buried since the moment that he got up to the main roster. Since the moment he got up to the main roster, he's been nothing but buried. He's been mistreated. He's been fucked over. Nobody gives a shit about him. Day by day by day by day, week by week, month by month, year by year, Sami Zayn has been treated like a piece of horse shit. He's been treated like an absolute piece of horse shit. And what happens? The cherry on top of the cake. He wins a fucking battle royal last week to determine the number one contender for Roman Reigns' Universal Championship, only to have Brock Lesnar beat the shit out of him. This match lasts 15 seconds at most, and he taps out immediately. They just gave Sami Zayn the biggest middle finger as he is set to leave going into AEW. Owens is going to leave. Owens is going to leave. You really think Sami's staying? No. They're in this together. Sami and Owens will be gone. Sami and Owens will be gone by the time February rolls around. They're gone. They're gone. Sami and Owens are gone. Absolutely fucking gone. It is absolutely disgusting. It really is. It's absolutely disgusting what WWE thinks of their talent. It really is. An absolute spit in the face to everything that Sami Zayn has done for this company. And he never complains. He does what he's told. He does his job. And look at what happened. Look what happened. There's a way to make both parties look good. There's a way to make both parties look good. It does not fucking entail squashing someone, having them get buried at the hands of Brock Lesnar only because of the fact that he's leaving. I knew Sami Zayn wasn't going to win the title, but that doesn't mean he deserves to get fucking buried and mistreated like this. If you were going to do Brock Lesnar versus Roman Reigns at day one, why the fuck? Why? did we need the Battle Royal, and why did we need this? This was constructed specifically to embarrass Sami Zayn and treat him like a piece of shit and show everyone what WWE really thinks of him. And it's fucking disgusting. Disgusting. That was SmackDown. Just as bad, if not worse, than Raw. 10 people watching. 10 people watching. The chat's still rocking. I greatly appreciate every single one of you. We're going to go over AEW Rampage, and then we are going to get on out of here, and we're all going to relax for the rest of our Saturdays. Rampage was a very good show. A very good show here from AEW. Really, really, really good show. We had the show kick off with a great fucking match. Great fucking match with Sammy Guevara and Tony Nese. This is for the TNT Championship. Tony Nese was 4-0 since joining AEW. And Tony Nese is getting a nice showcase here. A really nice showcase here. I'm very much liking what they did with Tony Nese here. And Sammy Guevara and Tony Nese put on a great match to kick off Rampage. Tony Nese targeted the ribs of Sammy Guevara. Sammy came in with a big Fosbury flop, and then he sent Nese into the steps. Nese came back with a nice gut buster for a 2. He hit a moonsault across Sammy Guevara's knees. That got a 2 count. Guevara was then selling the knee. Nese then with a single leg crab. Guevara came back with a springboard cutter. Very nice springboard cutter. We had Nese again going back to the single leg crab. Sammy fought back, hit a very nice standing Spanish fly for a 2. Sammy with a huge springboard moonsault to the floor onto Nese. Nese then came back with a palm strike, big Fosby flop, and a beautiful 450, but Sammy still kicked out. They traded strikes back and forth. Nese with a deadlift buckle bomb, but Sammy came back with a big punt kick and a go-to hospital. 1, 2, 3, Sammy Guevara, excuse me. I'm thinking too many fucking Sammys. Sammy Guevara gets the win in a great fucking match. Sammy's been booked like an excellent TNT champion. He's really, really, really putting on some bangers here on AEW Dynamite. The TNT Championship looks great. Very, very, very much looking forward to seeing who Sammy faces next. And I can absolutely see Andrade taking that title off of Sammy Guevara. I almost said Sami Zayn there. But this was a great match. Tony Nese is great. Great performance by Tony Nese. Man, did WWE drop the ball on the premier athlete. Christian Cage. Christian Cage was in the back with Jurassic Express, and he says that he'll make sure Jungle Boy and Luchasaurus become the tag team champions. So it looks like we have our tag team title match for Battle of the Belts, Jurassic Express versus the Lucha Bros, and that is going to be fucking awesome. It's going to be great. Jade Cargill took on Janai Kai. Jade Cargill wins in less than a minute with the Jaded. Thunder Rosa then was on commentary. She came out to attack Jade Cargill ahead of their big match in the TBS Championship Tournament. The refs then came out to separate them, and that was pretty much that. So, nice little teaser towards the eventual match between the two, which should be good. The Bucks challenged the Best Friends to a tag team match on Dynamite. So, like I said, we do get Rocky Romero and Chuck Taylor versus the Young Bucks. Should be good. Bryan Danielson and John Silver, they had some nice sit-down promos. Bryan with this one zinger. He says, John Silver's 30 years old. I wasn't joking around at 30. I was winning world championships. Good stuff by Bryan Danielson. I love when Bryan Danielson's a dick. It is great. I love it. FTR Pac and Penta El Cero Miedo. This was a great tag team match right here. Penta was isolated. Pac got the tag. He was wearing an eye patch. He lit up Harwood. His lack of vision affected him. Harwood took over and Pac was isolated. Pac fought back and he got the tag. Penta came in with sling blades to FTR, rolled through DDT on Dax, crossbody by Penta for a 2, a nice rebound backstabber on Cash Wheeler for a 2. Cash Wheeler came in with a power slam. Dax then got the tag. He hit a wheelbarrow leg drop. Penta then kicked out. We had a super kick to Cash by Pac. Penta with a nice code red. Dax kicked out. Pac then tagged in and he caught a right hand and a beautiful looking tiger driver by Mr. Dax Harwood. Very nice stuff right there. We then had Pac kicking out. We had Dax catching a tight bridge by Pac, but Dax kicked out. We had a swinging DDT by Penta on Cash Wheeler on the outside. Pac then with a beautiful fucking moonsault to the outside, taking out FTR. Awesome stuff right here. Dax then faked a knee injury. All of a sudden, Malachi Black came out of nowhere and sprayed black mist in the other eye of Pac. And then we had Malachi Black sitting down on the stage wearing this face paint over his eye. It looked great. And Dax rolled up Pac for the win. And afterwards, Malachi Black came in and bit Pac's head, causing him to bleed. And now we're going to get Black versus Pac, which should be excellent. It's going to be great. I'm loving it. Should be great. Should be awesome. Very good episode of Rampage. I can see this program being a nice program to build up Black to eventually take that TNT title off of Mr. Sammy Guevara. And it's not going to be a good night when Black takes that title off of Sammy Guevara. Well, at least for Sammy Guevara. It'll be a good night for us because we all love Malachi Black. Ladies and gentlemen, that wraps up this edition of the Lightning Flash Update. I would like to thank each and every single one of you who tuned into this video. Please do not forget to like, comment, subscribe. Check out all the links in the description. We got the rundown for NXT War Games with Mr. All Elite Mikey. That's going down tomorrow at 2 p.m. Don't you fucking miss it. It'll be great. Until then, I'm DJ Storms. This has been the Lightning Flash Update. You have a great weekend, and I will catch you tomorrow.